Episode 13, Isha's Building Crush.
My first ever experience with love and attraction was to a boy in my class when I was in 5th grade. I never knew him personally, but I had heard stuff about him. He was apparently the topper of our grade. He had his fair share of experience with socializing, defying stereotypes of academic well-doers that they were loners. But even still, he was quiet and just overall kept to himself. Never really raised his hands in the class, never shouted, or even had a brawl of violence with other kids. Appearance wise, he was a bit short and skinny. I would say prepubescent, so makes sense. He had a brownish caramelly skin and an affection to PE lectures, especially football. He always sat in the last bench of the third row, which was isolated and cornered to the walls, and kept to himself. And I was on the first bench of the first row. I stared at him like a hawk, like a creep whenever I got the chance. I learned all his habits, behaviors, how he laughed. It was hypnotizing. He was the sole reason why I woke up in the morning to go to school willingly. And he never knew me. Until he was made to sit next to me for a month. Now that day I was so ecstatic. I just had to tell my friends, saying, that happy rush that something good finally happened. A boy who was so far, suddenly so close to me. I made myself presentable and a bit ignorant to make sure that, he wasn't suspicious that I was into him. He was a bit distant and he clearly could live if I wasn't near him, even for 5 minutes, unlike me. I lost it when he told me he too liked me during a truth or dare game during the lunch break. I got a bit excited and I told him the same, assuming that something would happen, but nothing really ever happened after that confession. We just went our ways, did schoolwork, whatever. But of course, it all came to an end when we realized that the guy sitting ahead of us told everyone. He told the whole grade. Now, my crush, he got teased a lot. And so did I, getting called by each other's name. For me, it was a bit fine considering I was kind of bit used to getting bullied and being called names. But I felt really bad for the guy because, he was quiet living his life. Suddenly, he's getting teased and he's the butt of the joke everywhere I'm near him. I basically ruined his school life. That's what I thought every time. I felt bad for opening my mouth that day and apologized to him. He forgave me, but he told something harsh that day. Something I should have been told years ago, in my opinion. And he told me after 5 years. He lied. He never liked me. He said he confused friendship for romance. That left me with a bruise I thought would never heal. Eventually, time did its job and I kind of got over that stupid thing. But then again, I realized that I essentially made him get bullied with a girl's name he never even liked, which was far worse considering it would have been fine if he was into me, but he wasn't, so I felt even 10 times worse for what happened to him during our school days. But that saint-hearted idiot still forgave me. I saw him in the farewell 3 years ago. He was still quiet, still quaint, kept to himself, still a bit reluctant to be near me. I think PTSD considering even if he were within sights or near me, he would get teased and so would I. Now, he was so reluctant, he wouldn't even want to get photographed together in the single frame with me. He basically rejected any form of communication between us in the most respectable yet rude way. Now, it did It did hurt me, but I did realize something else that night. He lied through his teeth. He still hates me for what I did to him. But now I'll never know what he thinks. Because now he's somewhere else in life and I'm somewhere else behind.
तो दोस्तों, कैसा लगा आज का एपिसोड? तो क्या ये एपिसोड सुनकर आपको आपके क्रश की याद आई? अगर आपको भी आपके पहले क्रश की पहली लव स्टोरी शेयर करनी है तो भेजिए हमें podcast@audiopitara.com पर। और ऐसे ही पॉडकास्ट और ऑडियो स्टोरीज सुनने के लिए डाउनलोड कीजिए गूगल प्ले स्टोर से ऑडियो पिटारा ऑफिशियल ऐप, और आप इसे बिल्कुल फ्री में सुन सकते हो।
ऑडियो पिटारा सुनना जरूरी है।